Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour.
Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. It was a good episode.
It was a good episode. I enjoyed myself very much, and I have so many thoughts to share with you.
Me too. I thought it was great. I thought it was an episode it was rembourré de choses. There's so much happened. Um, yeah, I really think it was a fantastic episode overall. It features a snatch game. Fantastic.
Very good stuff.
Classic Snatch game, and it features a very hefty runway
Yeah.
um, with three different outfits per girl.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so a lot of things to munch.
Eat, 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 slay, slay, slay. There's a lot
Entrée,
to go through. But
exactement. Entrée, plat, dessert.
exact, c'est le cas de le dire.
Exactement. So, with a view of these many, many things that take place during this episode, we have decided to structure our review a little bit more than usual, um, so that we have time to talk about all of the fantastic things that take place.
Because we
Uh,
never talked about everything before.
yes, exactly. I'd like to discuss the baguette reveal that occurs at the top of the episode.
Very disappointing again.
Ouais, genre la tradition,
La
quoi.
tradition. And did you notice that Fluffy Bidule was like, ah, une tradition encore?
Ouais,
Like people
encore
are not happy with this, and I'm really, really hoping the next episode does away with this tradition because even as they said themselves, like it's not really a tradition if it just started, so let's stop it before it starts.
I think so, and I think that um, it's just as we said originally, that the mechanics haven't been thought through fully, and you always take a risk when you establish a new beaver or
Yeah.
snipper or whatever it's going to be, and but really you should think a little bit about it. And as we saw this week on Canada's Drag Race, she said, okay, bye bye beaver.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Like,
sure we can say goodbye to the baguette soon.
I think that they should be open for further flexibility if they can tell that it's just going in a certain way, which is boring.
Yeah. It's not cool to save the person to save the person that did the worst. It doesn't make sense. So who gets the baguette this time? It's La Nakota.
Ouais, mais don't you think that technically it does make sense? Because who else would need a lifeline besides the person who was just in the bottom?
Well, it's not that they need it's more like I would rather just see it go to somebody deserving, like immunity, like the top queen from that week, than somebody who's done bad and might do bad again. Not that it's been this case, but you know what I mean?
Exactement, because then it
Okay.
reduces the chances of them just giving it to themselves and then staying for an undue amount of time. It empowers who is very likely to do well next week to actually stir up some drama in the competition. But
I
it
mean,
did actually.
we've cracked this code. Comment dire, on a bite le crouton, là. Enfin, bref, on radote tout
And
ça, mais on est d'accord.
actually, this week did work out because, and it was an off chance, but La Nakota did do extremely well.
She did.
Um, and so that was exciting that she was able to use the baguette for its intended purposes, in my opinion, which is to stir some drama.
Yes. So, are we going to talk about the mini challenge?
Yes, mini challenge. So I thought it was an adorable mini challenge.
I agreed.
I liked that it raised awareness about two things. Art therapy, which is very near and dear to my heart.
Sure is.
And chemsex as well, which I thought was really interesting. Like I didn't actually know that much about it, I guess. Like I knew about it in theory.
But not
I
in
didn't
practice.
well, yes, well, not in practice, but also not in terms of like how it affects the LGBTQIA plus community in particular, I suppose.
Yeah, I didn't know much about it either, and I don't think it's been addressed yet on like American Drag Race. So that was interesting to have a new topic because often they talk about topics that we've already kind of explored in other franchises. So this was new and I liked it. I mean,
Yeah,
I was interested. I learned something.
exactly. I learned something too. And I thought it was really brave of as Emilia, but also a few other people to like come out and talk about their own experiences, like Daisy as well.
Yes.
Um, I think that this season it's expertly done. You know, we'll see sometimes on American seasons, like some will be way too focused on drama and not have any sad moments, or vice versa. And they'll often sometimes like lean too far one way. Whereas I feel like France really is in that sweet spot where every episode you have a moment where you're gonna cry, a moment where you're gonna laugh, a moment where you're going to be stressed. Like it really is able to have that multifaceted experience.
It's definitely nicely edited. It's a little heavy on the crying. And in fact, I thought we were not going to cry this episode, but then we cried a lot at the end. We, the collective we, which is fine. I don't mind. It's just there are tears in every episode.
And we, the collective we, also being I, who cried.
But I was happy that they introduced the topic and that I thought then after she talked about the fondation that they weren't going to talk about what it meant. I'm happy that they explored it later. Um, I also don't think I've seen many challenges where they're painting. I love that Drag Race France always is creative with the challenges and they give us the basics, but they're not afraid to try something new. Loved this idea because of course drag is painting adjacent. It's an art form. And I was so happy that they gave like the little art plastique moment.
Ouais,
I was just happy to see something new and like a new skill to test out. And they're always trying new skills in Drag Race France, and I like that. Remember that, like,
absolutely.
yeah, that like episode where they did three different mini challenges with one mini challenge. Like, that's cool.
I totally agree. And also, I like that this was not only actually testing skills, but also like, hey, let's relax. Let's like relax and actually do something that's meant to improve your mental health for once.
Yes.
Genre, yes, please. Like these girls are so stressed. And en plus, the next day in the workroom, one of them said, like, yesterday really helped me actually. Like I really bah ouais, bah comme quoi, art therapy, ça marche. And I thought that was so smart. And also I loved to see the paintings. And I thought as Emilia in particular was so funny when hers was really bad. She was laughing. I love her laugh. It's infectious to me. And she also, when she realized she was really bad, she was like, "Ah la honte!"
Elle est tellement entertaining to listen. J'adore comment elle parle et elle est trop drôle.
Exactement. It's just so French to be like, "La honte."
Non, c'était rigolo. Et puis, some of them were very successful.
Amazing, amazing paintresses. Um, yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
There's actually something else I wanted to talk about that happens before the Maxi Challenge.
Yes, me too, actually.
Go for it.
Well, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Sublime's inner saboteur moment.
Me
Was
too.
that you too? Yeah. Well, it was upsetting to witness, and it's like, but I get it. You see? It was very relatable content, but also like in a sense, I mean, it's not new. Like we see this happen nearly every season.
Not
But
to this extent.
yeah, this was really, and I guess I understand that feeling of like just like convincing yourself, genre, or being like, I just don't know how to do this. But I'm so happy it worked out for her. And what did you want to say about it?
I think that Nikki is just such a good host.
Yeah.
And the way that she engaged with Sublime in this moment was so commendable. Like, I don't think, on the one hand, have we ever seen somebody be so defeatiste. Genre, we've seen ever since the first Snatch game, people going in, every Snatch game, someone goes in and says, like, this is not my strength. And we've even seen, to the extent of some people being like, I'm just like not gonna take it seriously, and they break character and stuff and like whatever. And famously, RuPaul, it was so bad that it's good, and those annoying things.
Yeah.
But I think that to see somebody who's like, non mais je vais pas y arriver, genre, je ne vais pas y arriver, c'est pas mon truc et tout, and to have her say like. Don't worry, it'll be great. Just make sure that you have fun. C'est ça la clé, c'est que toi tu t'amuses. Mais t'inquiète pas, ça va être top. Alors que, et je, praise be to RuPaul, okay? So just respectfully, I just want to say this respectfully. But Mr. Pizza Margarita over here, who, for a snatch game, as soon as he notices, smells a vulnerability, smells that you're unsure, is like, what if you were Diana Ross's mom's cousin? Wouldn't that be so funny? Because you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like he makes people not be confident, en fait. Mais bon, it's good TV, so hallelujah. But I really like to see the way that Nikki engaged and said, "Don't worry, babe. It's going to be great. Just make sure that you have fun. That's what matters." Instead of just make sure that you make me laugh. That's what matters.
Nikki's such a great person, and as you know, when I met her,
Great friend,
she
exactly.
was so nice. She was so nice to me, and I remember like all of her questions. She like asked me questions about myself, and she was like and after the show, I was like, "Oh my God, it was amazing." And she was like, "So you enjoyed it?" Like she really wanted to know like if I had a good time. It was just so sweet. So I think that that's really how she is like with people, and that's she's Nikki, call us if you want to be friends.
Cutie patootie. And now, do I think that Sublime deserves to be in the top? No,
Mm. Well,
to be
déjà,
discussed.
let's discuss. Déjà, should we talk about their looks and their performances? We have we have their looks. I want to give a
Wait,
shout out
wait, one
to,
second.
oh, sorry.
Lana says that elle fait 1,69 m.
I literally wrote that down. I wrote that down because I was like, c'est pas possible. So
Okay.
she's taller than I
Oh,
am.
than me.
C'est impossible. But it's, how tall are the other queens? And they must be really tall.
Yes.
Um, I that's so funny that I wrote that down in my notes too. I want to give a shout out to the looks. I thought that most of the looks were very, very convincing.
Amazing, actually, to be honest.
And in the order, let's see, in the order that you sent me them, maybe we should just comment on the looks and the performances. The first one was Celine for La Nakota. Euh, c'était vraiment trop bien. Enfin, she did an amazing job, I thought.
She was she deserved win.
Yeah. She killed it. She was the main focus. Her Quebecois accent was perfect. She had references to Celine, but she didn't only rest on that. She was also creative, and she made a joke about Mariah where qui m'a fait trop rire quand elle a dit elle est encore sur Papa Noël elle.
Ouais.
Ça m'a fait trop rire.
I think she was quick on her feet. She played the snatch game. She delivered a perfect snatch game performance. She wasn't, so in her head. She was participating with other people. She was going back and forth with the host. She was just fantastic, and she was the true standout. Honestly, I'm so happy because she was in the bottom last week that she didn't go home because je pense vraiment que le snatch game aurait souffert sans elle.
Je suis d'accord. I thought she was terrific. Um, Sublime as Thierry Henry.
Franck Ribéry. Sports.
Really our area of expertise. C'était drôle.
So, moi, je trouve que ça, c'était drôle. Je pense qu'elle était drôle. Je pense que Nikki avait bien raison qu'au final, de choisir quelqu'un de silencieux does play to her strengths,
Yeah.
um, but does not a good Snatch Game performance make.
I thought she was pretty funny. And I also thought that that was a really helpful tip if you're struggling with like thinking quick on your feet, pick somebody that's slow. J'ai bien aimé ça. And then on peut partir dans l'absurde aussi.
Ouais.
Can relate to this because we're incapable of speaking one language. Um, so I liked that, and I thought the look was very convincing. I looked this man up just to see what he looked like. And
Trop fort.
je savais même pas que c'était un footballeur. Non.
Si, si, moi je l'ai reconnu. Je savais pas qui c'était à la base, genre je me souvenais un peu de lui en théorie, mais quand j'ai vu le scar, je l'ai reconnu, et enfin le outfit et tout, et après les dents, ça c'était trop drôle.
Ouais, c'était bien, hein, j'ai bien aimé le look.
Ouais.
Et c'était pas mal au final. Je pense que, voilà, bon, c'était pas incroyable, mais je pense qu'elle s'est vraiment très bien, elle s'en est très bien sortie et j'étais très fière d'elle.
Moi j'étais très fière d'elle aussi, mais j'ai quand même l'impression que si elle avait pas exprimé ce qu'elle a exprimé dans le workroom et qu'elle était clairement pas aussi nervous, like if she hadn't um, crossed such a big hurdle and been as vocal about it. Tu vois, on sait pas le nombre de personnes qui avaient exactly these same thoughts, but just who never said it, especially to the judge.
Yeah.
Um, like, I feel like that is what helped her be in the top. And honestly, I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, I'll tell you what. I agree, but I think in my opinion, her looks were probably the best
Yeah.
or some of the best, and I think that that helped her like snatch that third spot.
Her looks in the challenge, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you meant her look as Franck Ribéry because I do actually think that was the best
Yeah.
visual transformation.
So with all of those elements combined, I do think she merited like a top three spot. But maybe not for her impersonation per se.
And it was very satisfying as a viewer, to be fair, to have Nikki be like, "You're in the top, believe it." And she's still like, and she's like, "You realize, please." That was nice.
This was a great week for me for Sublime. I connected more with her performance and her outfits than I have in the past, so I was happy.
Trop mignonne, Sublime. Je la trouve vraiment adorable. J'adore ses yeux bleus. Elle est trop mignonne avec sa petite épaule on her confessional. I'm really a stan.
The shoulder moment. I love it.
Okay, nexto.
La harpie. Est Lara
Ouais.
Fabian. She didn't really have a point of view.
Except being relative to Celine.
Well, she helped Celine clinch that win
Yeah.
because he was there for her to outshine her.
And if you notice, Celine, il y a écrit Lara on her sheet of paper. You know how I love, it's always great when you see the personalities in the way that they write their names.
C'est pareil.
So I do think they obviously like agreed that they were going to have this rapport. And as you say, it obviously worked out way better for Lena, but I think it was a bit one note for Lara.
Was super one note. She didn't really have any. I mean, first of all, je sais pas, les Français, they talk a lot about, well, Drag Race France talks a lot about Lara Fabian, I feel. It's not somebody that's in our particular repertoire, especially if there's Céline there. So she should have picked somebody very different. This collaboration worked out well for Céline and not for Lara.
And personally, like, where are the jokes, you know? Like I just didn't ha ha he he. I she was in the character. And she definitely didn't like recroqueviller in her shell or anything. Like she was doing the damn thing, but I didn't laugh, so ultimately I can't really speak much further.
But I did, on that note, on that point, actually, I did notice that usually there's at least a few people who, in the eyes, you can tell they're freaking out. And there was not really anybody whose eyes were shifty, just a little tiny bit fluffy for a minute. But most of all, people stuck to their characters and really carried. So that was good.
Yes, I agree with that.
All right, Jacques Chirac. I loved it.
This
I
was hilarious.
loved it. And you know, I when I thought about Jacques Chirac, I thought about like les phrases qu'il disait tout le temps, and she hit them all. Genre, mes chers compatriotes. You know, my sister used to always do an imitation of Jacques Chirac when we were little, and she would always start with mes chers compatriotes. And they were just like, it was, I thought it was very good. Not all the jokes landed, but the visual representation was really good. Like it looked a lot like
Stellar.
it. And
Stellar.
great. I loved it.
Um, I loved that. I thought it was such a smart choice. Genre recognizable, funny, dead, you
Yeah.
know, like politique, homme, genre c'est juste, c'était tellement bien fait. They do look alike, so the transformation was uncanny. I didn't agree with the critique that the judges said, where they were like, at first you kind of felt unsure, but then you really got into the rhythm of things. It was like, no, during his introduction, he did uh oh, by the way, Judge, I really like your perruque ou je sais pas quoi, tu vois, he didn't just answer Nikki's question and then say nothing. Well, listen, we don't know what really happens in the full unedited Snatch Game, but what we saw anyway was somebody who was extremely confident off the bat, and I think who performed excellently throughout. I think Daisy is that girl.
I agree. We've been sold for weeks.
Yeah, hot person. Hot person who makes me think that Jake Shike is hot. Ok, allez. Alors là, c'est assez intéressant. Je sais pas ce que tu auras à dire.
Bah, j'ai pas adoré, je vais pas te mentir. I didn't know who the person was, which always makes it harder. And that's not something that they can necessarily control. Um, but yeah, I was thinking what they said later, which was on a vu Azé, on n'a pas vu la personne. Genre, there was not much of a characterization.
So I asked my dad, and he
Who
said
spoke
she's
with
a
it?
person on Danse avec les stars. Il a dit,
Ah,
bah bien sûr, Fovoto. I kept thinking it was spelled like Fauvoto.
photo.
Um, and as it does say, ouais, personne vraiment qui sait qui c'est, blah blah blah. And then one of the judges was like, eh ben moi je la connais. And it's always like, well, that's not very fair, is it?
Not really.
And definitely you not knowing them is not necessarily within her control. I mean, genre, I just don't. What I didn't like is the frantic energy. Like every time she was just moving the entire time. And I get it, t'es une danseuse, mais genre it's just too much.
Yeah, levels.
Exactly. Levels, and I felt like it makes ultimately her performance look quite insecure because, like, why are you not kind of waiting for your turn or engaging with other people? You don't necessarily need to wait for your turn. Like, I like it when people interject and stuff, mais genre, levels.
There weren't that many jokes either.
Where it was really relying on like shock, like body, physical humor, which, as you know, we famously enjoy.
Sure do.
And I did like when she jumped on the table at first like a cat
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
like is off strong. And I thought, oh, maybe this is going to be one of those hyper energetic Snatch Game performances that I actually like. Mais au final, j'ai pas trop aimé. Et ouais, ça m'a fait penser, tu sais, quand Fifi O'Hara, for example, does like a Lady Gaga and she steps on the table. Tu sais, genre, whenever they're like getting up and stuff, it's always like good, it's a bad sign usually. Um, then Mariah Carey. I hated this.
yeah, this is bad.
I can't believe it wasn't addressed how bad it was.
Well, she went home, didn't she?
She did, but in the Untucked, which we can talk about a bit more later, and I guess it probably is because, as so many of them explain later on, she's obviously really important in the French drag scene. No one dares, and they attack Fluffy, and no one dares address the fact that she was terrible. Maybe she wasn't as bad in the room as all I can assume, but like to
One
me,
person, one person did say they would select her to go home.
yeah. Do you know who that person is?
No.
Okay, that's fine. Um, I just thought that this wasn't funny, and the physical dress up was like one of the only ones that wasn't very good, and it was never gonna be funny. We know this was never gonna be funny.
Yeah, I mean, and also just like there's so much more you can do with Mariah Carey. Like she has so like she did a few of them, but like it was so mild compared to what it could have been.
Absolutely. And she also, I could not believe it, Mimi, because you know what she did? She makes the exact joke that Tatiana makes in All Stars season two. No, in All Stars, yes, season two, when she's Ariana Grande on Snatch Game, where RuPaul asks her, "Can you sing for us?" And she goes, and there's no sound, and they play crickets.
Oh, I don't remember that.
And Mariah, in this instance, actually finishes up the joke to say, oh, actually, c'était Nikki même qui l'a dit, ah, parce que ton pitch est tellement haut qu'on
Ouais.
n'entend pas, tu vois? And that was the joke that Tatiana already made and failed. With another epic singer, tu vois, genre Ariana and Mariah, obviously, like both do whistle tones, but I could not believe it that she did the exact same flopping thing. C'est nul.
Ouais, enfin, c'était pas très intéressant, ouais.
Ah,
And the
moi,
look, ouais,
ouais.
yeah, it was all right.
Some body makeup on the tattoos would have been nice.
Yeah, it would have.
Anyways,
And the hair is just a little flat.
and I've
Yeah.
never seen Mariah with nails like that.
I don't have anything to say about that. Fluffy as Marianne James. I don't know who this person is.
So my dad explained that she's a judge on like France's Got Talent or something, and that she's really great fun, he said. He said elle est trop rigolote, elle aime toujours s'amuser, elle est très loud, elle a une énorme personnalité. En effet, Fluffy n'a pas donné ça.
That's not all what she gave. It was very reserved.
But I did notice that over the course of the Snatch game, she would put more sunglasses in her hair. Because by
Oh,
the end, she
really?
had like three different pairs of sunglasses in her hair.
I didn't notice that. That's funny.
That is funny, but we didn't see it, and it wasn't noticeable enough.
Yep, it's hard to make a name for yourself in the Snatch game.
Elle a fait une rétorque très, 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 très drôle qui m'a fait, je pense que c'est actually the seul truc that I laughed out loud, which is when she's like, well, how big was the cat? And she was like, 1 mètre, she's like, 20 centimètres, on a dû le savoir pour le procès. Donc,
It
that was
it
cool.
was decent. It just wasn't like it wasn't out of the best, you know. It wasn't the best.
It was low
Yeah.
placement. Okay,
Okay.
that's it.
Then they do the whole chemsex discussion. We think that there's gonna be tears. There's not tears yet. I don't really need, I mean, I think we've addressed it. I think we can move on to the runway.
I think that what we should discuss next is what the judge panel looked like.
Okay.
Um, donc déjà, c'est qui ce hot guy?
Je sais pas.
Parce qu'il est trop beau! Oh mon Dieu! Il
Euh,
s'appelle Jesse,
j'essaie. J'essaie.
et il est trop hot.
He has, he's not huge. Il a 306 000 followers.
Elle m'a vraiment manqué. Euh, the one from the previous weeks. What's her
Ah,
name?
Angoon.
Ouais, putain, elle m'a manqué.
Hmm.
Mais j'ai bien aimé ce cast et j'ai bien aimé ceux qu'ils ont porté, plus ou moins. Donc, Jesse, il est très très hot, mais en vrai, c'est très intelligent de just put a gigantic cool coat.
Always works.
And he's so hot that he pulls it off, so I accept.
Okay.
Do you have any thoughts?
No.
Daphné, j'aime pas trop, to be honest. Pour une fois, c'est un peu compliqué. J'aimais pas son maquillage. Elle avait genre un blush violet that kind of made her look a bit sickly.
It's a bit busy. It's not my favorite either.
Notre reine, bah, elle est magnifique.
J'ai préféré ses robes des semaines dernières, mais Comme d'habitude, this is right in her color palette. It looks nice on her. Nice shape. C'était joli.
I agree, and I really liked the wig.
Yeah, the wig is cool. And the makeup. Her makeup is incredible.
Just incredible. I don't know who is mugging her, but
Beautiful. Wow.
Loïc. Alors là, Loïc, je suis désolée, mais ton pantalon, il est baggy. Tu portes une casquette. Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Mais il
Qui?
porte toujours une casquette.
Mais je sais et j'aime jamais. Je suis
Mais
jamais contente avec ça.
isn't he a fashion guy? C'est vrai que les pantalons are crazily not tailored.
Exactly, like the way that they're falling at his feet avec sa casquette là, moi j'en peux plus. Ça m'énerve. Fatou est trop belle.
Ouais, elle était. Et d'ailleurs, j'ai beaucoup aimé sa participation à cet épisode, hein.
Moi aussi, j'ai aimé tout ce qu'elle avait à dire et j'ai envie de rencontrer sa maman. Je trouve qu'elle s'entendrait très bien avec nous. Peut-être ses guests sur notre prochain épisode, peut-être.
Ouais, elle était très sympa et elle a beaucoup rigolé. Moi, j'ai bien aimé parce qu'elle était vraiment, elle s'amusait beaucoup et j'ai beaucoup aimé ça.
Ouais, je suis d'accord.
And her look is cool.
Yeah, I agree. And she took it really seriously, as she should.
As she should, yeah. That's what we expect out of our guest judges.
Actually.
Um,
All right, shall we do this?
I'd like to say something general about this runway. Is I
Right.
actually didn't like it that much. I think it was there were some good things. I know, shock. It was too many, it was a lot of reveals and it was a little it made a lot of the outfits bulky and I'm a little tired of reveals and I didn't think that this was like one surprising reveal always. But every time I'm like, oh, deux, trois, je sais pas. I didn't think that all of the reveals made a lot of sense, and I overall thought that a lot of them were obviously reveals, and a reveal is best when it's unexpected.
A reveal is only a true reveal when it is unexpected. Otherwise, you're just undressing.
Yeah. Thankfully, not that many of them did the thing where they rip off clothes and it's all the way down the runway. Like they respected the rule of like the it's a transformation, not a striptease. But yeah, overall, I didn't. Well, we'll get into it, but this wasn't on my favorite runway so far from the girls. Yeah, let's get into it.
I disagree. Sorry, I reserve the right of responding. I disagree that I'm not sick of reveals. And I disagree with this assessment in a general sense, theoretically speaking. However, in practice, did I think that this was a strong show on the runway? No.
That's what I mean, right?
And I agree with that. And I think that it must be due to the brief not being clear. Parce que, tu vois, moi, j'entends, je suis tellement contente que tu as dit ça parce qu'il faut qu'on parle de ça, tu vois. Moi, j'ai entendu entrée, plat, dessert. Et pour moi, c'est très obvious. Le premier look, c'est une entrée. Bah, le deuxième look, c'est un plat. Et le troisième look, bah, c'est le dessert, tu vois. Par
What you
ailleurs,
want? Troisième look, eh ben, c'est le désert.
moi, ça me semble plutôt clair. Par ailleurs, on n'a pas du tout vu ça. On a
Oui,
vu,
non.
ah, moi, je suis la nappe, moi, je suis un escargot, et ensuite, tu vois, genre, c'était n'importe nawak, tu vois, genre, c'était.
Oui, that's what I mean. C'était pas the best runway. I'm sorry.
But I would like to posit that I believe that this is due to the brief being unclear because, as we know, they're not always given the name of the category that airs or that is what actually happens in the episode at the time. So I think it's possible they were told de reveal, thème, resto, ou tu vois, genre c'était un truc un peu à côté de la plaque, pardon the
Mais non,
pun.
mais même quand tu vois catégorie et entrée plat dessert, enfin, je veux dire, I understand how people can interpret that differently. Tu sais, je veux dire, unless it says, well, I guess they did get the thing that was like they have to have two reveals. Je sais pas.
Moi, je trouve que si t'entends catégorie entrée plat dessert, two reveals, comme j'ai dit, ça ne pourrait
Euh,
pas être plus clair.
Donc, let's get into the looks. I agree. I agree.
Okay, so
Euh,
as Emilia
vas-y, Emilia.
first.
Salade d'endive. Ouais,
I think this
mais
one was the bulky one.
that's what I'm saying. They're so bulky the first looks, and
Not
I don't
all of them, but this one is.
many it. Mais
And
bon,
I don't like the way that it looks.
it looks bad, and then the second one, c'est quoi? C'est une salade niçoise. Bah,
Détesté, c'est si moche.
c'est très moche en vrai.
Si
And what I don't like is the first reveal that no, the first look that you're getting rid of, it should disappear. It shouldn't just flap around at the bottom or
Yeah.
align it with a different color so that it goes with a second outfit. You can't just have it like hanging around your ankles like this. It was, well, yeah, it just didn't work.
But by the time her third look comes around, it is hidden.
Yeah. And her third look to me was the only one that was clear and looked nice.
Well, I don't think it was clear, but I think it looks nice. It looks hot, and it reminds us always that the illusion of having nude on the side with a block color in the middle, it works. They bring it to you every ball. Like it
Yeah.
works.
Et
Uh,
moi, je vois que c'est un éclair au chocolat et
c'est pas un éclair au chocolat.
c'est quoi?
Justement, ils ont dit à la fin, ah bah moi je pensais que c'était un éclair, et elle a dit, ouais mais c'est un éclair si tu veux, mais c'est censé être genre un millefeuille ou un truc. Attends, elle va le dire, donc je peux te dire ça tout de suite. Mais c'était pas super clair, donc ça m'a un peu annoyé, mais bon, I thought that the look looked good. C'est un opéra.
Bon.
C'est chocolate
All
thing.
right.
And
So,
last thing, I did like that she had the serviette in her hair that I didn't notice until the very end where she pulled it out and went
yeah, that's cool. Her hair looked good.
hair on fleek as always. Apologies for saying on fleek.
Granted. Um, okay, let's talk about Daisy Super Beach. So I really liked the first look because it wasn't too bulky and it was a nice shape with the nappe, mais c'est pas une entrée.
Voilà, tout simplement. Mais j'aime bien, mais c'est pas une entrée, et ça m'énervait que her glove stayed on throughout because it kept reminding me of the fact that no, I think at the end her gloves change when she's the chantilly, mais ça m'a énervé. Voilà. Après, en effet, it's not bulky. I hate the second look. I think it looks costumey and it's ugly. And it doesn't even clearly look like une tarte aux pommes.
And why is the nappe still visible? Why is it not aligned with something else? This really upset me. And I
Yeah.
love la tarte aux pommes en plus.
Ouais, moi aussi, moi aussi. Genre, it was personal.
Yeah, it was upsetting. It clashed so bad with the quadrillage from the nappe.
Je suis
C'est pas
tellement
un top.
d'accord. Et c'est moche. Donc le deuxième look, il est nul pour moi. Mais j'aime bien ses reveals entre les trois. Son dernier look, il est beau, mais, euh, mais, mais tu vois encore la nappe en dessous et tu vois la nappe sur les gloves. Donc ça m'énerve. And also, I think, respectfully, she just could be wearing a little bit more body, just a little bit.
I agreed that she should have been wearing more body, actually. And I also think that there should be jewels on the bodysuit. It was just a little tiny bit plain.
And I also think that the hair was really suitable for the first look, which was not an entrée. But does it really? It's okay with the tarte aux pommes, c'est un peu un rappel des mêmes couleurs, mais je suis upset. Et ensuite, je sais pas, juste j'ai trouvé que les cheveux, they weren't really adding to the story. It just felt like she kind of just took a random wig avec un chignon et qu'elle était genre it'll work et c'était pas très réfléchi, à mon avis.
Je suis d'accord. Je suis d'accord.
Pas comme Azemilia au moins qui avait les cheveux où il y a la serviette et it worked for all three looks. Like I just, yeah, that's my opinion.
That's your opinion. Let's talk about Sublime. I so bulky on the front look. It's just et puis c'est pas une entrée. Bon, bah, c'est un
But non, mais c'est pas une entrée, but at least she does have food in her first look, even though she is also a chef.
but I mean, it's a cute concept. It just doesn't. Yeah, oh, she has a little thing on the top. Yeah, the little fraise.
Mais,
Ouais,
mais bon, elle a pas, elle a même pas trois trucs à manger différents. C'est le même truc à manger the whole time.
ouais.
Genre, donc c'est très confusing. Mais bon, hair is beautiful.
Yeah.
Heels are beautiful. The hair, I don't know if you can see, but à la base du chignon, on dirait de la crème chantilly.
À la base du chignon, ouais. Ouais. And I mean, the second look, I liked it. It was kind of fun. But then she rips it off and throws it on the floor.
I'm fine with that because I didn't see it coming.
The what? That she throws second look on the floor?
I didn't see it coming of like it wasn't bulky. I didn't know if what she was gonna rip off. You know what I mean? It's not like a bulky
Yeah.
jacket where you know they're gonna blah blah blah. Like I don't mind. I know that you have very strong opinions on leaving reveal parts on the floor. You like everything to be part of the same garment. I personally have less strong feelings about it.
Well, I love the third look.
I think that that the second look is not a meal, but I like it, and I love the third look as well. And I think she looks fabulous throughout. Her whole demeanor, her makeup looks gorgeous. I love her.
At least there's like a story here. Even though it's not entrée plat dessert, at least il y a un fil conducteur.
Absolument. Et aussi, je trouve que ses cheveux, genre, are really worth writing home about. Like there's little red things at the front and all, like, I just think it is so genius. She's really a fashion girly. Elle donne un beau nom à la France, mode, tu vois, genre, et, euh, et ouais, genre, je la trouve juste trop mignonne. Ah oui, l'autre truc que je voulais dire, c'est que, like, around this area, her shoulder, it looks like que c'est du plastique, mais en fait, the way that it's scrunched up also makes it look like chantilly. Genre, je sais pas, c'est du génie, à mon avis.
For which one? The third look?
Yeah.
Um,
Like, cause you know it's
yeah.
plastic, like flat plastic with
Oui.
but then also the ruching is plastic, but it looks like it's chantilly. Genre, c'est
Yeah.
vraiment genre, it's a true feat.
And I like the little red curls, yeah, in the front. That's cute.
Star.
La harpie.
Euh, alors à elle, il n'y a pas d'entrée, ni de plat, ni de dessert.
Oui, on est sur un thème complètement différent. Après, en termes de fashion level, it's the best one. I mean, it's the most interesting, innovative stuff that we're seeing on the runway, and it's all of it is well fitted. None of it is like bulky in a way that is obvious, but it's just un peu hors sujet.
What about the first one? Don't you think the first one is rather bulky?
Oui, but it looks like a fashion moment. It doesn't look like she's gonna do a reveal.
Yeah, that's actually quite fair.
And then the second one is it's with the flies, it's fun. I like
Agreed.
all the looks, but I just don't it just seems like random given what everybody else is like a strawberry.
Yeah. I do like the homard dans ses cheveux. What's a bit annoying for me is that, like, the second look with the flies, it doesn't actually fold properly at the bottom there.
Oh, yeah.
But honestly, I am nitpicking because if we're just gonna set theme aside, I completely agree with what you said.
Yeah.
She's just got great taste.
She does. Yeah, she's not able to fully fold out her dress. But
And she
it's
did also tell us a story,
yes, she did tell us a story.
a banquet
Anything
organizer
you want to say about oh, sorry.
who gets overwhelmed.
And there's the flies on the chantilly, and then there's trash at the end. Yeah, it's a storyline.
No, at the end it's not trash. At the end is the whole table where she's like, and then it's a explosion de la nourriture avariée is what she says. It's like at the end there's just so much food everywhere, and this is what the banquet gives. But you know, if you put these kind of plumage on anything, I'll like it. Yep.
Well, let's talk about Holly White. Oh gosh, this was rough. I didn't actually mind l'escargot if it had been not an escargot. Genre, it was too. They should have. it's okay, but some people are obviously conceptual, like it's an escargot in theory, and some people are like, I'm gonna stick an escargot on me. We have different, and that's okay. So I actually liked the first look. I just it didn't translate to snail.
I'm upset because ultimately it's genius to have it become a bag. The way that the first reveal takes place is probably one of the more impressive ones that we see this evening. It snatches off her body. You can't tell there's anything under there. And then suddenly it's off her body and it's a bag and it's like, what just happened? And that's genius.
Yeah, I like the bag as well.
Mais en vrai, elle aurait pu faire ça et dire je suis un chou.
Oui, un chou. Et après les deux deuxièmes looks,
J'ai détesté.
c'était pas it wasn't hitting on the cheese, pseudo cheese and then this. Mais comment tu peux être de la France et dire rainbow cake? On est le pays avec le plus de pâtisseries. Enfin, je veux dire, il faut. How could you do that? It's upsetting and it's offensive to the culture.
I agree, but I kind of like the little mini skirt, the
Yeah,
bubbles.
that part's cute.
Um, I don't think the hair is right for any of the looks, to be honest with you. I don't think she should have gone with blonde. I think she should have gone with brown hair, but that's my
Yeah.
opinion.
The skirt bit is cute. It's just again, you see this little rainbow thing and you do not think dessert.
I had no idea what was going on. I think neither of her three looks, if you look at them standalone, do you know that they are food?
No. This cheese, we haven't even talked about this cheese because it's so rough to look at.
It's not good. It's not good. But I do think, to be fair, now that I'm looking at it more closely, she probably has the best reveals out of everyone.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
the way
nice.
that the snail thing becomes a bag, and then the way that the second dress becomes the third dress is quite ingenious.
Her transitions were very good. We have to give that to her.
Her makeup is stunning.
Yeah. No, she did a good job with that. Definitely did a good job with the makeup and the transitions from look to look. And they're not bulky and it's quite, no, that's, you're right. Fifi?
Donc,
Au début, c'est sa grand-mère portugaise.
I think that the presentation, I'm biased. I think that like the way she walks down the runway is so elegant that it's hard really to even see that what she's wearing if I like it or not because she sells.
Yeah. She's walking very nicely, but it is a little bulky, which like I understand is really hard to do three dresses and not be bulky, but um I enfin I don't know, like s'il y avait pas le panier, she'd just be like a blue Red Riding Hood un peu.
I just don't love it, to be honest with you. What I love aspects of it. I love that the shoes are sparkly, that the pannier is sparkly, that her bloody hair is sparkly. I love that she is doing an ode to her culture, that she is you know, talking about her grandma and but do I like the fashions that I am looking at? No.
No. And the grand-mère is not the worst. The worst is the morue.
Do it at
Speaking
all.
about just oh, speaking about just having the rest of the outfit just like hanging at the bottom, and you can obviously still see all the patterns. It was deeply upsetting to me. So why?
And to just be like a giant fish head.
I didn't like it. I
And I
really,
don't like the
really didn't.
fabric choice either. It looks
Neither.
cheap.
It really does. Very Halloween.
Um, I just didn't like it at all.
I did enjoy the last look. I thought that one actually gave food without being costumey, and I did kind of see the reference, and at least the rest of the outfits weren't as visible, so the last one worked for me.
I think that the last outfit was gorgeous. I don't think it gave food, but I was at least happy to see her in something that I find to be beautiful. She looked gorgeous and the reveal was stunning, and I was just happy, as I said, to see her in something where she looks as stunning as she is.
She looked like a little fairy, like a little
Elle est trop belle,
Tinkerbell.
trop belle. And I think that for what it's worth, she accessorized very well. Her
Yeah.
hair, her jewels, her shoes, and her makeup worked for all of the looks, whether or not I liked them. And she didn't just go with a nude or a clear, which a lot of the other girls did in order to just make it easy, which is fair. She actually went the extra mile and make sure it suited all of those aspects suited across the board. And special mention, actually, even though the Moru, I didn't like it, I like that she took off her hat and she had a little lemon hat.
Yeah.
I like the art of the performance for
That
that.
was good. Dave, yeah. I don't know. That's what I mean. Like this, like usually she always has amazing outfits. Whatever. It was a hard, it was, it was a really hard prompt. We'll give that to them.
No.
Okay.
Tu
Let's
es
talk.
en entrée, tu es en plat et tu es en dessert.
No, it's hard to do three looks in one, but yes.
Well, I think the next person we're going to talk about is going to show the girls how it's done.
Yeah, Lana. That was nice. Bon, c'est pas un entrée, hein, c'est juste du vin, mais bon.
Oui, ça c'est vrai. Donc t'as raison en finale.
Et elle a fait que deux looks, pas trois.
Non, c'est pas vrai, car au début, elle est dans son truc et ensuite elle drop le truc. Est-ce que ça compte à discuter? Mais on va dire que ça c'est numéro un. Numéro 2, elle est dans son truc. Numéro 3, elle enlève son truc. Numéro 4, il y a le truc qui sort.
Waouh, quel beau vocabulaire. Angela a défilé des trucs cinq fois dans une...
Écoute,
Oui,
les
donc
mots,
elle
oui.
arrive, elle a ses petites plumes, ah, qu'elle fait tomber. Bon, c'est pas vraiment un reveal, on est
Mais bon,
d'accord.
c'est un raisin géant, on pourrait dire.
C'est un raisin géant. Elle fait tomber son raisin géant, elle enlève son corset. Bon, et
Uh,
c'est tout.
let's talk about this first outfit. It's fantastic.
What? Before she takes off the corset and the plumes?
Yes.
Yeah, it was nice. It was good. It was
And
it was a drink. It was not an entrée, it was not a plat, it was not a dessert, it was a drink.
well, at firstly, she says she's Dionysius. But the elements of this are amazing. The bodice, the corset that has the abs, like a Schiaparelli. We've seen this a lot on Drag Race, but I think she incorporates that element beautifully and casually. It looks stunning.
Mhm.
She also incorporates another element we've seen a lot on Drag Race, including in this episode, very casually. She's got bloody table around her hips.
Yeah, we've seen that before.
You've seen that many times before, but she does it, genre, you don't even really notice these crazy elements that, like, she does it really subtly and tastefully, even though we're talking about strass abs and a table
T'imagines,
around.
t'imagines she's presenting in front of like famous people and she's wearing like just a breastplate and like a couple of strings and she's pouring wine out of her body. What a moment that must be.
So yeah, then I think for the final look, um, when she bears all. But she also had a hat first, which she removed, by the way. I love les raisins dans les cheveux. I think her hair just looks amazing. And then body. So at first I was sad. I was sad that I could see the back of the breastplate, and I was sad that I could see the side of the breastplate, and I was sad that the breasts didn't look as natural. We've seen much more natural looking breastplates.
But I was happy to see a breastplate on a like I don't know, a very young skinny queen, which we don't really see anymore often.
Yes. And also for me, Alst was forgiven when the breastplate performed its trick. However, you got there, girl, happy. En fait, you could have just bought a few extra straps, fitted it here, Fitted a bigger one at the back, but it's fine. You were focused on something much bigger and much more important, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. A fun gag.
I think for me, this is what drag, for me, what I enjoy the most about it is this entire look. Like at first, when she comes out and you see the white sheer thing on her boobs, and you kind of think, what's going on under there? What is it? And she's like, she's sexy and she's gender bendy, and she is funny and unexpected, and there's a gaggaroo, and so I forgave the fact about the breastplate, and even also the fact that you can see the tape of her tuck. I forgive her. You're forgiven, Dave. You're forgiven.
Okay, so we've made it through the looks. Um, shall we? So let's talk really briefly about them having to tell people who to send home. I, my only comments are this. I love that
Mm.
people said different people. I hate it when they all gang up on somebody. And I need to know what the tea is between La Harpie and Azemilia yet again. Because La Harpie says Azemilia, Azemilia, nobody else does. And it was so quick. Is it? Like, why does La Harpie hate her? And I need to know, and I want to know.
Moi, je pense que peut-être qu'il y a du tea, en effet. Mais aussi, je pense que c'est peut-être, je sais pas, la Harpy kind of mentioned it the other day, like maybe it's one of those things where it's just like some personalities just don't jive, you know, and like la Harpy seems to be pretty reserved and quiet, and Emilia is everything but. So, parce que c'est celle qui avait dit, genre, putain, elle parle trop, un truc comme ça, tu sais, elle avait dit
Right.
ce
But for
truc.
them, it really feels like it isn't drag, it is personal.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Um, I agree also that I like when people voted for different people, but I was really surprised that Fluffy was in the bottom so much.
Yeah, but they see her as competition too, I feel. And she didn't really do so well in this episode, but
And we can't know what it was like in the room, but for me, it was just actually so clear that she was low, but I don't think she deserves to go home tonight.
yeah.
I think that was clearly Uli, so I'm happy that that's how it
Oh.
shook out.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the other person bottom three?
Um, Holly, Fifi, and who lip synced? Oh, and Azimilia.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Honestly, I do think bottom three deserved.
Yeah, I think so. Um, wait, what were Azimilia's looks again? We did them at the beginning.
Yeah, she was um a chocolate at the end.
Yeah.
She was olive and then
So
cinnamon.
yeah, it definitely was interesting to see different, like the top placing queens place a little lower this time. Mais bon, the moment that the moment that Fluffy got saved, I was a little scared that she was going to be strategic and save with the baguette, that she was going to save Hoodie Wait. I was a little scared because, well, you know how much they've been killing us on Canada's Drag Race with this strategy, and I was not ready for that kind of a strategy play out here in Drag Race France. I care too much, so I was happy that she saved Fluffy and that we got to see Emilia just, tear up Holly. Fortunately, but much respect to Pretty Wait.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I thought it was interesting that Lena saved Fluffy because of the conversation that happened in the workroom right before, where Fluffy was like, uh Arpi or somebody basically said to Lana genre oh there's something going on between you and Fluffy genre somebody what happened do you remember?
They were just saying that it seemed like that Lena wasn't at all, criticizing Fluffy's performance, because clearly they're good friends.
another risk of the baguette. I think that it was just a bit of a shame because if we're gonna have something a mechanism like the la baguette, then this episode would have been the perfect episode for it to actually do something interesting. Not only did the person who get it win,
Hmm.
but also it's a who should leave tonight and why. Like drama has been stirred. Let's keep that going. And ultimately, I just didn't think it was very interesting. But I was happy that Fluffy was safe because I love her, so I'm biased. And to be fair, actually, I do think she probably had the best performance out of the three people in the bottom. So
Yeah. So it was sweet to see Nikki cry for her friend. It was sweet.
I cried. I crowed.
You cried.
And she went off script. She said, Sachez, tu vas énormément me manquer.
Wait, that was really sweet. That was really, really, really sweet. You didn't
Um,
have to call her out by saying you've applied every single year. But it was nice and I didn't realize how close friends they were, so
I think it was cute when she was like, I'm gonna answer as two people. No, actually, one other thing was like, as soon as the lip sync started, um, mais même genre avant, j'en suis sûre, Nikki's face, elle est genre. Parce
Wait,
que
also, what the hell was this lip sync song?
they shouldn't lip sync to men's voices. Sorry.
They never do.
They're like, ouais. Je
Boom,
suis genre,
boom, 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 boom. What?
mais arrêtez ça tout de
It
suite.
was so violent, and
Not ladylike behavior.
they never do that. They never have them say do the men's voices.
I don't know why they did it.
Boom, boom.
But yeah, so I think that it was cute when Nikki said that, and it was cute when Nikki was like, it was funny that Holly was like, I'm just really grateful that treat me like a friend at all. I think it was funny the way that it came out. She was like, c'est comme si on se connaissait même pas. Ça m'a fait rigoler. Donc ouais, je suis triste que Holly parte et j'étais triste quand elle disait qu'elle a l'impression que ça donne raison aux gens parce que je suis pas d'accord avec ces gens-là, mais est-ce que je pense que c'était le time for Holly to go? Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe it's also because when you're a bit older in life, you're a bit more judicious about what you spend money on. And so she just didn't spend a lot of money on her, as much money as other people in her package because she's a bit more money conscious, to be honest. But also that has downsides to it, you know?
I also think that we know that that is not true, even though in the moment, like, Shaw, there are plenty of older queens that do fantastic on Drag Race, and you know, so we know it's not true. It's
But
just,
there is also ageism on Drag Race.
yeah, but also you have to know there are young queens that are outside of the realm of Drag Race or too spooky or too out there that don't do well on Drag Race. So you need to know that like Drag Race looks for a certain set of skills and whatever the age, you need to be able to do those skills to do well on Drag Race.
I'm looking up who is the oldest winner of Drag Race, and in my opinion, I think it's probably Kylie Sonique Love
I think it's Sasha Velour, no?
at the time of winning. Oh, well, no, of course. It's Chad Michaels.
Oh, well, of course.
Yes.
Any
So
concluding thoughts on this episode before we wrap up?
she was crowned at 41 years and 252 days old. Thank you. Um, so yes, my last and final thought is on the what's coming next
It looks
sequence.
so exciting.
What is going on?
I don't know, but it looks very exciting.
So they say it's a girl band, but then they say it's not a girl band. But then you see them recording music, but then you see them making outfits, and then everybody is crying.
Well, that's not new.
And then as if like j'ai la rage.
Elle a
Qu'est-ce qui se
rage.
passe?
Je sais pas.
Maybe her and Harpy will butt heads.
We're waiting on it.
Um, in terms of who we think is going to be in the top three, I think that it was. the floor has started to shake under Emilia this week. It's the
Yeah.
first time we've seen her not be in the top and or contender like well she was in the bottom and that's
Lena is coming for her.
Lana, elle est trop stylée, dude.
Yeah. Et
Mais j'aime
Fluffy.
presque toutes. Je les aime vraiment. Enfin, honnêtement, je les aime toutes. Genre, Lana est trop. Mais genre, je serais trop triste. Sublime, elle part. Lana part. Bon, on est d'accord que le top, c'est Daisy Super Beach. Genre, je suis désolée, mais in terms of consistency, this girl is showing up to work.
Ouais, non, it used to be clearly Fluffy, Daisy et Azemilia. Now it looks like Lena and Sublime are really rising to the top, so I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to stay tuned.
And I'm now all the more convinced that actually, well, not all the more, because I think this time last week I thought that Azzy, I still was pretty convinced Azzy was going to be the winner. And actually, remember, I went on a whole diatribe about how it was actually too obvious in the editing. Um, whereas now, for me, it's clear that Daisy is the winner.
Yeah. Well, we'd like to thank you all for listening to our podcast slash video and encourage you to like and subscribe. Would like to give a special shout out. Go ahead.
Hello, you! Whoever you are, we'd really like to know, by the way. So if you want to tell us, if you know us personally, or you can send us a message maybe
You didn't say what.
to our, well, he knows, she, they know, our subscriber, our one subscriber at this moment in time. You're so special to us. Please leave a comment to tell us it's me. But
And
thank you for
yes, thank
supporting
you.
the arts.
And if you're like our mom or something, we still thank you, but let us know.
Yes, I didn't tell my mum about this. Hi, mum. Yes, like, subscribe, share the video on your socials. Let us know in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think we're completely wackadoodle?
Never.
And what do you think is going to happen at the end of the season? What do you think is going to happen next episode? Tell us your thoughts and your feelings. And yeah, thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye bye, bisous.